Hey everyone, I wanted to put together a quick video to highlight the 3 biggest mistakes that I see home buyers make. Thought it was timely given that we're about to enter into the spring market, and there are 3 things that I consistently see that would be really helpful for anybody who's starting their home buying journey to avoid. So the first one is people focusing too much on the list price of the house as opposed to what they really should be caring about, which is the monthly payment. So the monthly payment is obviously what you're shelling out every month, right? That's the number that we really care about. What I encourage you to do is to figure out what that comfortable monthly number is. And a lot of things go into the calculation of how to keep that monthly payment where you need it to be. So the biggest one of that is going to be your down payment. Now, if you have a current house to sell and you're looking to purchase, obviously what that house is worth and the money that you're pulling out of that property is going to largely dictate the down payment that you have for the next house. So you have to get a really accurate picture of the market value of your current property and what you could expect to walk away with cash wise, and then work backwards to figure out what that down payment would be. Interest rate comes into play, but instead of saying I want to buy a house that's worth X amount of money, what you need to be saying is, I need to keep my monthly payment under $2,500, and then work with a lender to figure out what your list price or what your purchasing power is. It should really be the lender that's telling you what you can afford. So that's point number 1. Point number 2, while we're talking about lenders, it's super important to have a local lender. Now, why? Why that is because local lenders understand the Virginia contract, they understand our contingency deadlines, and they understand our market. Okay, we are gearing up for potentially another very competitive spring for buyers, and sometimes the very small things cumulatively add up to affect the strength of your offer, and a non-local lender can be one of them. Any offer that's submitted on your behalf will include a pre-approval letter. That pre-approval letter is letting the listing agent know this is the type of loan you're getting, this is who my lender is going to be. Most listing agents will pick up the phone at that point and call your lender. If your lender is not answering, if your lender is not responsive, and worst of all, if your lender has no idea who you are, that can put your offer kind of to the side in terms of, we don't know what the financing looks like on this. A local lender who's going to pick up the phone and explain to the listing agent that you're well qualified and that he or she has no qualms about saying that you will be able to get to the settlement table. That's what you really want. You want a local person who will be able to be your advocate from the financing side. The third point is that people are too short-sighted in what this purchase means to them. So what I mean by that is, you think, okay, I'm going to live in this house for the next 3 to 5 years, and we already have a kid, and we're probably thinking about having another one, and I'm buying a 2-bedroom condo. We have to think more longer term. You have to look at how this purchase fits into your longer term life goals, your financial goals, and making sure that from an investment standpoint, even though when you're buying your primary residence, it becomes very emotional, part of the job of an agent is to keep those emotions at bay and look at this logically and make sure that what you're doing lines up with the goals that we would have talked about at the beginning of the process. So those are my 3 biggest mistakes to avoid as a home buyer in the spring market in Northern Virginia in 2019. I would love to hear from people who have bought a house, what the biggest mistake you felt happened throughout the process. Is it one that I've mentioned? Is it one that I haven't? And do you think it could have been avoided had you had more information? Because the longer I'm in this business, the more I see that I think a lot of the mistakes that happen along the way are when there's not enough education about the process. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do, is bridge that gap and dispel some of the myths and really get information out there that would help people throughout their home buying journey. So comment below, let me know if there was a massive catastrophe and a huge mistake that you would say to avoid that I've not covered here. And I hope you guys have a great week. See you soon.